As we celebrate National Nutrition Month during March, we become more conscious of how we can better our health by increasing our awareness of healthy foods. I'm Amelia Duggan, your host for On Campus at Bergen Community College. Joining me once again is Chef Arthur Tolvey, who is a registered dietitian and professor in the BCC Hotel Restaurant Management Program. Also joining us on this show are Katya Maya and Piper Mahler, who are students in the program. A little later in the show, we'll be visiting the kitchen for some great cooking tips from Chef Tolvey. Arthur, in our last show, we started with a discussion of our hotel restaurant program. Tell us a little bit about what kind of training is encompassed in the program.
It's really a total training. The students have a choice of one of three specializations. There's the hospitality or hotel management specialization, and then the food service management specialization, and the catering and banquet management specialization. The first 2 semesters are the same. That is the first year, the same for all of the specializations. It's then in their second year that the students will specialize. And they will take specialized courses such as food service management, banquet and catering management. There'll be an introduction to baking class. In the food intense specialization of banquet and catering management, there are other many food classes other than the lecture classes that are given in the hotel specialization.
And are these courses hands-on?
Oh, yes. Oh, all of the courses are hands-on. We do very few, if any. I'm trying to remember. No, we don't do any hands-on course or food course that is strictly demonstration. We don't do that. It's all hands-on, and the students learn by doing, and if they do it incorrectly, that's the breaks. Mm-hmm. But you do learn. Oh,
let me turn and ask the students some questions. Katya, what do you think the strengths of the hotel restaurant program are?
Oh, really the hands-on training, because you really get training, and also you have specialized courses like the Grand Manger, because give you a beautiful idea, and you have many options in this career, because you can be in a hotel or in a club or in a restaurant. You can do many different jobs in the career.
Piper, what about you?
Well, I feel that our professors all come from the field, and they've done things before, and they've all either know what the industry is like or they know how to handle things, so they're giving us basically the best education that we're going to get, because they tell us how it is out there and how we're going to get things to go.
What do you think the strongest point of the program is?
Well, I feel you work up to the strongest point. I have a class right now that's commercial restaurant operation, and we call it the Bergen room, and it's all a student-run restaurant that's open to the public, and I just feel that that's one of the strongest points, because that brings together every class that we've taken in the past, and it brings together all your talents and all your teachings, and we basically make the restaurant run.
Arthur, March is National Nutrition Month, as we've been talking about. When we visit you in the kitchen today, how will you be helping us to be more aware of healthy cooking?
We first made stocks in the last episode. And these stocks, we made white sauce, some basic things. Now we'll take them a step further, and we'll prepare the more complicated sauces and how to use them in the certain dishes. You'll see how the fat doesn't make a difference if you don't use it. The sauces, the flavors, the textures are all there. Just what you'd expect.
Okay, well, with no further ado, we're going to get to the kitchen.
Okay, thank you. Hello again. I'm in our kitchen at Bergen Community College. I'd like to introduce my helpers. This is Katya Maya, and this is Charles Cleary. They're both in the Hotel Restaurant Management Program. Right now, we're going to do some stocks. This is sort of a continuation of our previous shows. Here we have a brown stock we're going to do. We're going to do some brown sauces, and we're going to do a basic intermediate sauce, which you can use for a lot of other things too. First, the stock. Now, in order to make this stock properly, you're going to need some beef. I know people say, well, beef, look at that. It's got a lot of fat. You need it.
You need the beef, you need the flavor, you need the bones, but what you can do is skim the fat off the top, which is what we normally do when the stock is finished. So you start out, you can cut this into smaller pieces like this, and you can take off some of the fat, but it's not necessary because when this cools and congeals, the fat will come to the top. And then all you need to do is just pick it right off because it'll be solidified. And the smaller you cut these, the better off you'll be, okay? Cut them smaller, it'll take less time to cook. Kind of about that size, okay? And place them here in the water. That's cool water. You don't need to heat the water up first. Start it in cool water, and as it comes up to a boil, lower it down to simmer. And then you can place the rest of your vegetables in it. These vegetables, this mixture of vegetables right here is called a mirepoix. You can put the mirepoix in then, or you can put it right in at the beginning. This is going to take close to 5 to 6 hours to cook properly. If you want it really, really dark in color, which is not necessary, all you need to do is use dark vegetables. Like we have carrots, that's dark. We have celery. We have the parsley. You could use the celery leaves if you like. The meat itself is going to make it rather dark. So when you finish with this and strain it, you'll see it'll have a darker color than normal. If you want it darker than that, you need to brown these bones first. And meat. Put the meat on a pan, put it in the oven, and brown them till they're very, very brown. Then you add the vegetables to it and brown that some more. Now this is only going to take, I'd say, about 3 to 5 pounds of meat. You can mix veal with this and chicken to make a consommé. You can use it the way it is. I think that should just about do it. We need about 3 pounds total. So next, we're going to put in, here's our onions. We have here just about a medium onion, maybe a little bit more. Here's some celery. Notice we have the dark green parts of the celery. Okay. Here's some carrots. We've left the carrots unpeeled because that gives it a little more depth and darkness. And a couple of sprigs of parsley. Okay. What you want to do is take these bitter stems off and just use the tops in here, like that. There we are. Now we have some herbs we put in there. When you place these herbs in, and you can put them all together in the stock, you can put them in a bag or a sack. That's called a sachet, or a bouquet garni. But anyhow, we're going to just put this in this way. We're going to strain this afterwards. There's garlic, bay leaf, rosemary. There's dried thyme, savory. Okay, that's going to be ready. That should simmer about 4 to 6 hours. Okay. Now, one last thing. If you want, you can put in some wine. We left the wine out. By the way, this is not real wine. It is, but it's non-alcoholic. You can put it in there for the flavor. It still has the same flavor, if you like it. We sometimes do it, but this time we left it out. Okay? Now, let's take this. We'll get rid of this, and we'll show you what we do next. Now that the stock is cooking, we have some stock that we've made already. Okay? And we have it in this little jar. Okay? This is a brown stock that's been made already. Okay? So what we're going to make from this now is a basic brown sauce. Now, make this basic brown sauce. You need the stock, and you need to work it like you do a white sauce. You need a roux first, okay? Now, one way to do this is to take this flour and brown it on the range. Once it gets good and brown, then you can mix it with the oil and put it in the pot, and then put all the other things in and cook it, and it'll be wonderfully brown. This case, we only brown the flour very slightly. I don't know if you can see the color of it, but it's pale, it's not dark. But I'm going to put it in here now this way. Okay. Sometimes you can put it in for a longer time. It'll get just about as dark as this tray is. And pour the oil in. We're using olive oil today. You could use either canola oil or olive oil, and that kind of cuts down on your cholesterol. This is not fat-free by any means, but at least it's sort of the good fat everybody needs. And it's olive oil. Being an Italian, I like to use olive oil in almost everything. There we go. We make this nice and smooth. Okay? Now you can put the seasonings in. Salt and pepper, generally. If you want a little pinch of garlic powder or onion powder, but it's not necessary. Okay? And this is basic. Now, if you want to use a salt substitute, you can. Sort of like no salt or K-salt. This is about 2 cups in here. All right? And now we can just stir that. You're going to see it doesn't get lumpy like everybody thinks. Stir it up like this real well, and then put it on the range and heat it up to the boiling point, lower it down, and cook it for about 5 or 8 minutes, and it's done. There we are. Thank you, Katya. Okay. Here we are. Now, once you've made, first of all, now we've made the stock. We now have made the basic brown sauce from the stock. Now we're going to make a second step sauce. This is called a Demi Glass. Now this is quite involved, so we'll use some previously prepared brown, basic brown stock. You can see how it looks here. This has not been heated yet, okay? If you want, you can heat it, but it's not necessary. Once you start heating this up, it'll all smoothen out, so don't worry about it. There we go. Now, we give it a good turn here. And that kind of smoothens it out, see? It's very thick because it's cold. Okay, next, we're going to put in some tomato paste. Okay. Now you say, well, what is this, a brown or tomato sauce? No, it's an intermediate brown sauce called a Demi Glass. This sauce is used for a variety of other things, okay? Now we mix that up a bit. Then I'm going to put some of this Madeira wine in here. Okay. To start with. Now, the recipe says to put the wine in last. I put it in now, so in case there is any alcohol in it, we're sure to have it disperse, but the flavor would still be there, and it won't be as sharp, okay? Now, all we need to do is put the carrots. The regular, if you're making this sauce originally, you'd have to saute all of this in beef fat, and then the amount of fat that goes in here would be unbelievable. So this way, you don't need to saute it. It'll cook right in the sauce. You're going to strain all of this anyhow. You won't have this left in the sauce. See, we can't use the whisk anymore with this. Okay? Let's set this down and stir this up like this. There we have it. Okay. Doesn't look too appetizing now. Once it's heated up and it gets smooth and then you strain it, you'll be surprised what it looks like. Okay, there you are, Katya. Thank you. Okay, now that sauce is cooking. That's a Demi Glass. I want to show you what it looks like when it's already made. Yes, thank you. Charlie's getting, we made a big batch of this before. We had some fun making this. There's what it looks like. Show you how smooth it is. See? Okay? And if you were standing right here now, you could really smell the fragrance from this sauce. It's outstanding. Okay, that's what it looks like. We can put it back over there in case we need it. All right? Once the Demi Glass is made, that has to cook and reduce. It needs about a total of that, for that size that we had in that bowl, probably about 2 cups, you'd probably need about at least an hour, maybe 2, to reduce it down in size, because it then has to take on all the flavors, and then when you strain it, you're going to lose some of the sauce too. But that is perfect. Now this sauce will stay, keep it in a jar in the refrigerator. It'll stay a good 3 months, refrigerated. If you freeze it, indefinitely. Be sure, though, if you refrigerate it, refrigerate full jars, or small enough jars that are completely full, because if there's an airspace at the top, you're liable to not only get a skin on the top, but then you'll condense some of the water, and it will dilute the sauce. You don't want to do that. Okay? Yes. We're going to show you what to do with one of the other sauces we have made from this Demi Glass. These are strips of round steak, and I'm using a pan coating here so as not to saute these things. This needs to be cooked very quickly, and we're going to broil these. So all you need to do is give it a good shake, and then just spray the top of this. I doubt that you'll have any more than 1.5 teaspoons or 2 teaspoons. I've sprayed the bottom, and I sprayed the top. This is a stainless steel tray, so this will work rather well. Okay? There you are. Charlie's going to put it right into the broiler and raise it up. He's going to have to watch it carefully. You see how hot that is. So it's only going to stay in there about 3 minutes, or 4 the most, but 3 minutes is about right. Thank you, Katya. Okay. While that's working, and Charlie's working, we're now going to show you about this Bordelaise sauce that we're making. Now, for sauces that have tomato in it, we generally want to have a pot that is stainless steel. Or you can use a glass pot, sort of like the Visions. Aluminum is not so good with the wine and the acid that we have with the tomatoes. You're liable to get an off taste in there, okay, an off flavor. So what I'm just going to do is put these all together. That's all you need to do. Take the basic brown sauce, Demi Glass, rich brown sauce. Now that is the Demi Glass that you saw in the bowl before. So we've started with the stock. From the stock, we made a basic brown sauce. From the basic brown sauce, we made a rich brown sauce called a Demi Glass. Now, from the Demi Glass, we're making this sauce called a Bordelaise. Place the Demi Glass in here. There we go. Okay, thank you. There, stainless steel pot. And now all we do is put these all together gently. And we have to cook this down to about 2/3 of its original volume. Okay? But let's put the flavorings in here first. These are chopped shallots, okay, instead of the onions. I like to use shallots. Now, the original sauces say to brown these first in fat. We are not going to do that. Okay, because we don't want to add any more fat than we absolutely have to. Here we are with a pepper, okay, and some herbs and seasonings. This is thyme and bay leaf. There we go. And for sharpness, a little bit of lemon juice. Now, the wine that we used was a Bordeaux type. That means that it is a very smooth wine. If we had a Burgundy type, it would be a little more acidic, and so we wouldn't have to use the lemon juice. But the Bordelaise is made from a Bordeaux type. Now, this has to get on the range and cook until it's down to about 2/3 of its volume. There you go. Thank you, Katya. All right. Charlie has this out of the oven, out of the broiler. They look wonderful. Very, very nice. Let's see. Good. Nice and separated. Okay. Let that just stay there for a while until we can get our other sauce ready. Okay? Fine. Good. Here we go. Okay. We'll be working on the next sauce, which is called a Chasseur. The sauce Chasseur, thank you, Charlie, is the French version of the Italian cacciatore, which means hunter style. Now, there are two varieties of Hunter-style sauces in the Italian versions. One is solely tomatoes. The other is done with a brown sauce and tomato puree, such as this one. Now, all you really need to do is mix everything together. Or you can evaporate some of the things first and then mix them together. But I like to evaporate it after everything is added, so all of the flavors get placed into the pot. Here we go. Sauce here. Okay. This is white wine here. This again is non-alcoholic. There we are. We need to just put this tomato puree in. You can make the tomato puree yourself in a blender if you like. It's much easier to open a can though. Here's some mushrooms and parsley and onion. There we go. Now we mix all of this up, and this needs to be reduced. Okay, there we are. Fine. Now, the last sauce over here is the Stroganoff style sauce. Okay, we're going to put it in this pot, and that's what we're going to put on top of the round steak that's there. Put this in here. Okay, here's mushrooms. Now you need to put this round steak in here to cook a bit. So that's why I'm putting everything together. All right, we have yogurt, that's wine. We have some yogurt here we're going to put in too, but that needs to be put in last. Otherwise it will curdle, okay? So we place this in here like this. So it's all mixed together. Doesn't look very nice now, but it will later, okay? And now all we need to do is take this sauce that we have right here, this sauce, and put this into it. Oh, okay, Charlie, thank you. There we are, thank you. Place this meat right in it. Okay, thank you. All right, there we go. Mix it up nicely. See, the round steak is a less tender cut, so it needs to cook in here about 25, 30 minutes. There we go. Okay, and then we'll add the, okay, can I have this? That's right. Fine. I'll take this sauce. Okay, now we can put these sauces on top of this. I've poached some chicken breasts over here. This sauce looks beautiful this way. All we need is a little cup like this to pour it on top. We try not to be a messy person, but sometimes it happens. There we go. Thank you. And now we take one of these cloths and kind of do around the side like this. There we are. Okay. Now, that's poached chicken breasts. All we need now for this is to have a nice pan full or bowl full of broccoli. You can have serve it with a nice red wine if you like. A salad. If you want to starch, a baked potato would go beautifully with that too. Okay. Yes, I was just looking to see that the broiler is off. It's very warm in here with the broiler on. Okay, I think we're almost out of time now. You want to take a look at this? Uh-huh. Ah, yes. Okay. Yes, this is beautiful. Yes, it is. There it is. This is our brown sauce. Okay. There we are. That's fine. Thank you, Katya. Thank you, Charlie.
Arthur, what's our goal in preparing a menu?
In preparing a menu, you want to satisfy the patron if it's a commercial menu. You want to satisfy management because they have to make some sort of a profit too. You want to satisfy the nutritional aspects of the menu also. And you also want to offer something that's at a reasonable price. Some people think you can't have, that some of these things are mutually exclusive. They're not. You can get all of these things in your menu. The thing is, it takes a little time and energy and a little bit of research. But the best tool that a consumer has is to read the labels, especially now that the government and Congress have gotten together and finally finalized the nutrition label. And the labeling is wonderful. You may have to relearn some of the things you knew before, but it is very, very informatory, and it tells you exactly what you need to know. Read the labels, cut down on your fat.
Katya, do you think it's been effective for you as a student in hotel restaurant management that as you learn to cook, that you're learning these kinds of recipes and you don't have to unlearn some of the bad habits that some of us have acquired over the years?
Oh yeah, it's excellent because you don't make the same mistakes. You get always looking ahead, you look the future because we want to get a better health, a better healthy life.
Do you think that makes a difference overall for our students, that as they enter the professional world, that they're going to have this repertoire of these kinds of recipes and know how to make menus that work that way?
They won't have been exposed in their learning to any of the less desirable, we don't want to say bad, but less desirable habits. And if you're only exposed to the good habits, you're going to pick this up and carry it with you. And then you're going to say, yes, this is the way it should be done. So it should carry forward through a whole generation. At least I hope so.
Well, we're just about out of time. I'd like to thank you once again.
Thanks.
As we continue our series on healthy dining, we'll visit again with Chef Tolvie and our students. At the end of this four-part series, we'll be giving you a phone number to call for a copy of all of the recipes we're using. Please tune in again. I'm Amelia Duggan. Thank you for joining us on campus.